So, hi guys, how are you doing today? Good, great. Okay, so the topic that we should cover today is essays, particularly opinion essays. I think you heard about this kind of essay in our class, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so what kind of essays do you know, guys?
Every
Every segment, advantage, yeah, problem solution. Okay. So today we're gonna cover opinion essay, right? Okay. So, do you usually see in the tasks that usually determines that this is opinion essay? What do you think? How do you determine this is opinion essay? This is asking my opinion.
What's your opinion?
Yeah, what's your opinion? To what extent do you agree or disagree? Yeah, or you just do you agree or disagree with this particular topic and so on? Yeah, right? Or discuss. Both you say give some kind of topic and they give views, right? Pro and against, and they ask you discuss both views and give your opinion. Yeah. So opinion kind of message. Okay. So first, paragraph 1. You have what? Introduction, right? Intro. So what you should do here is paraphrase the topic, right? Pros and cons. Paraphrase it. And just give a general information.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. So then what you do? You state your opinion. Right? So you should state your opinion clearly, right?
Yes.
From the beginning, all right? In the introduction. Okay, so you choose sides, right? You pick one side, for or against or something like that. So, paragraph 2, which is the start of your main body. Yes, main body, part 1. This is your paragraph, second paragraph. So what you do here, you give your strongest opinion or argument, yeah? Yeah, and you'll give reasons, yeah, examples, or explanations, yeah? Okay. So you give first your strongest argument in order to support your opinion, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. In the third paragraph, what do you think you should do? Solution?
Yeah.
We don't really need solution here. We don't have problem. I say. You need an argument. Yes, second argument. Yes. Second argument.
Reasons, example.
To support your opinion. And if you wish, you can also give a weak counter argument. Counter argument. Right? So your main body consists of 80% your argument and 20%, let's say, counter argument. Okay? But you don't need to make a point. You don't need to point out the counter argument. You don't want to emphasize on it. All right? You just give weak counter argument so that you could disprove this argument. All right? With the second argument to support your opinion. Okay? Is that clear?
Yes.
Any questions?
No.
Okay. So paragraph 4, which is
Conclusion.
conclusion. What do you do here? You just restate, summarize, right? Your arguments, this one and this one, first and second. restate your argument and your opinion. Alright? That's all. I think it's pretty simple, yeah, pretty understandable type of essay, right? Yeah, it's very easy to start these kinds of essays. Alright, any questions?
How many words has to shoot include?
Well, in our essay, yeah, you should write around 250, yeah. Yeah. So around those area. Any questions?
No?
Okay. So, can you personalize your essay in this type of essay? By personalize, I mean, can you use like I believe or I think?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you can and you should use it because it's an essay. It's asking for your opinion. Yeah. So, but don't overuse them. Yeah. You can personalize your introduction, for example. I strongly believe, or I believe, I think, and so on. But you don't need to use I in every argument. Alright? Yeah. Is it clear? Okay. And in the language part as well. You will use your. Okay. Any other questions?
No.
Okay. So, well, clearly you have to use linking words here to make it cohesive, coherent, right? Okay. Present tense here. Okay. So everything's clear. You don't need to film this. Okay. One. Two. So here are your tasks. Do you have one, Rahima? Okay. So, in the first task, think the statement or picture. You see? So, there you have weak points here, weak arguments or opinions, let's say. You could rewrite them so that they will be strong, academic, and clean. Okay? So again, let's check one. So first one, I think social media is okay, but it has some bad parts too. So how do you change it right now?
As you said, using internet is good, however, there are
Right. Okay. Thank you. Emily?
First one?
Yeah.
I believe that while social media has certain drawbacks, it is still beneficial overall.
So beneficial overall. Okay. Huh? Okay. What about the second one? Same.
someone prefer electric cars, but others.
Okay. That's kind of a little bit short here and not very self-explanatory. Okay. Should make it more precise maybe. Okay. Maradona?
While some people like electric cars, some people dislike this kind of cars.
Okay. Okay, third one. Lululhan.
Although some believe that video games are a topic, yeah, video games are important than usual.
Okay, so third one is video games and topics that many people talk about these days. So how can you paraphrase this?
Video games have
Video
big
become a widely discussed topic in recent years.
Okay. You come up with.
Nowadays, majority of people talk about online video games.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Thank you. So, okay. Next task is about brainstorming. Let's talk about brainstorming a little bit, alright? So, how do you brainstorm? What do you do?
About brainstorm.
Have you heard about this phrase? I guess you have, yeah? So, what is it? Brainstorming? Any ideas? So, you create.
Think about something. Think about something.
So,
They will bring.
yeah, you create some kind of map in your imagination, your mind, or just draw a map, or divide, yeah, into two groups, into two parts, pros and cons, for example, drawbacks and benefits, right? And you just give as many examples, yeah, as possible in a short period of time. Yeah, that is basically what brainstorming is. Yeah. So, okay, you should do brainstorming while you're preparing, yeah, for your exam maybe, at home or in classroom activities. You should brainstorm, but while writing, while sitting at a real exam, while writing the task, you know, let's say, it's not really beneficial to brainstorm because brainstorming means giving or making, creating a lot of or as much examples, right, as possible. Yeah. You don't really need that during the exam or during writing essay. You need a couple of really good arguments, arguments to justify your opinion, right? So you should brainstorm before taking a real exam. For example, when you're preparing at home or during the classrooms, but you don't really need to do that during the actual exam. Okay? It's yeah. So brainstorming helps to come up with new ideas. Yeah? For example, some students may not know much about environmental topics, global warming or the climate change. So in classroom activities or while you're at home preparing for this kind of essays, you can brainstorm and come up with as much versions of arguments as possible. Yeah. So it's really what it does is it really expands your knowledge about a specific area of topic. Yeah.
Yes.
Gives more knowledge about the topic, so that you could write about these kind of things more easily during the actual exam. Okay. So task 2, brainstorm. Yeah. Okay. So what you say? You should make 3 pros and cons. Yeah? Should give more 3 benefits and drawbacks of 2 given topics. So first one is
Should university education be free for everyone?
should education be free? Yeah. Sure. Okay. Can you come up with some kind of arguments? And we do rapid fire. No rapid fire. Yeah. Answering questions quick as possible. Give me 3 arguments of free education. Why is it beneficial? So why is it beneficial?
Because not everyone afford to pay contracts, especially who live in rural area, so it's beneficial for them.
Okay. Supports let's say less well-off families, yeah?
Yeah.
Or people. Less well-off means not rich, yeah, not having enough money. Yeah, okay. Basically, poor people. Okay. What are other pros or cons?
It gives chance to study equally for
Equal.
everyone. Yes.
Okay.
What else is it?
Yeah, equality. Okay. Basically, what does? What else? Is that all?
Cons.
What are the drawbacks? What can be drawbacks of free education?
They become lazier and
You mean students?
yes. Because,
What do you mean? Why?
because of it's free and they don't want to study a lot or research.
Oh, okay. They take it for granted, yeah?
Yeah.
It is free, you don't really need to do much, yeah? Okay. Let's say took for granted. Okay. What else?
And it can lead to increasing students.
Increasing what?
Students. Yes.
Because of free education, there's going to be more and more students, you say? Yeah. Okay. Is that a drawback? In what way? Maybe it's how can it be disaster? Free education. I think we can write it here. More students. Okay, let's now focus on progress. I think benefits are enough, yeah?
Cons. It affects teacher salary. If, students don't pay the contract, it means if education is free, it affects negatively teacher salary.
Okay. They might get less than, let's say, if they were in private schools. Okay. Good point.
Yeah.
Too many students, so it affects the quality of education.
Yeah.
Okay. So these are just pros and cons that we just come up with. Okay. Now do the same for the second one, which is should the working week be reduced to 4 days instead of 5. Okay? Okay, let's check now. So should the working week be reduced to 4 days instead of 5?
They have more time to spend with close ones or focus on their hobbies, like better work-life balance.
Better work-life balance, okay, nice one.
More time for family and friends.
Spend with their families.
Yeah, more time for family, yeah. For personal life, yeah. Okay, what else?
Productivity can increase.
Less stress.
Cons.
Spend more time with stress.
Because of less stress, productivity may increase, yeah? Okay, what about the cons? What about the drawbacks?
It can be
With salary.
Work
We-
may not
What kind of salary? Decrease the salary or increase it? What do you mean?
Lower income. Possible lower income.
Okay, so the salary may
it can be
decrease, yeah?
difficult to money exchange, especially on banks. Money exchange with other countries, especially
Ah.
banks.
Okay. We have a less time. Yeah?
Yes.
Longer
Less
working
traffic
hours.
and
Longer working hours.
Oh, they reduce the day, so but elongate the working hours.
less traffic and lower carbon emissions.
For benefits, yeah? Less traffic jams. Alright, that's a good point here. And people will pay leisure.
Yeah.
It may be difficult in hospitals, schools.
What do you mean?
It's not suitable for
They work under pressure. They need to do all.
Oh, there'll be more patients. Yeah? Okay. Okay, so that's a good one. Okay, next one. The third one is about it's about a paragraph C where you make weak counter argument. Yeah. So if you see here, you have weak counter argument. For example, remote work. While critics argue that working from home leads to laziness, that is your weak counter argument. You don't really need to explain or elaborate on your weak counter argument. Okay? So in advantages and disadvantages essay or discussion essays, you elaborate both sides and pros and cons, yeah? In opinion essay, you don't really elaborate, you don't really give much detail about the counter argument. You just say, well, critics argue that, and like here, okay? You just briefly state counter argument and give your opinion or argument to support your opinion. Okay? Is that clear? Is that clear? Okay. So first one, while critics argue that working from home is too laziness, I maintain that and your argument. So okay, first one, remote work. Dastan.
While critics argue that working from home leads to laziness, I maintain that remote work can actually increase productivity because employees have fewer distractions and more flexible schedules.
Okay, great one. Thank you. Works. China?
While critics argue that working from home leads to business, I maintain that people work better and faster at home without distractions.
Okay, without distractions. Okay, without any distraction. Second one, Swedish.
Although some believe that cars are more convenient than buses, it is clear that buses are more efficient for the city because one single bus can replace dozens of cars, significantly reducing traffic jams and air pollution.
Yeah, great one. Thank you. Okay. Madonna?
Public transport is more environmentally friendly and the buses reduce traffic jams.
Okay, track. Okay, thank you. I think it's clear, yeah? How you should give the weak argument and make a counter argument to that. I think it's clear, yeah? Okay. Task 4, I think we can do it orally again. You just need to fill in the gaps with linking groups, yeah? So the first one, living in a big city provides better job opportunities. Yeah, firstly, living in a big city provides better job opportunities. Most international companies based in urban centers. For instance, most international companies based in urban centers. Then what? Yeah, however, still life can be very stressful due to noise and pollution. And the last one? In conclusion, I believe that professional adventures make city life the best choice for young people. Okay, that's pretty clear and simple, yeah? Okay, the last one is for home task. Should I replace human teachers? You should give your opinion, yeah? So let's just wrap it up, guys. What you should write in your introduction or opinion say? Yeah, paraphrase the topic, should Aerobics teachers and so on, and what else?
General information. Give general information.
Well, that's
State opinion.
that equals paraphrasing. And apart from that, what do you need to have in the introduction part?
State opinion.
State your opinion. Yeah, we should call it state your opinion. We should keep aside. You can't sit on the fence on the introduction. Yeah? Okay. And in main body, you have maybe 1 and 2. Okay, in the second paragraph, you give your strongest argument for your opinion, not just say, okay, and in the third paragraph,
Second.
yes, second argument, and with weak counter argument. Okay. And in conclusion,
Rewrite our argument.
yeah, so restate your opinion, basically. Okay, I think it's clear, yeah?
Yes.
I think it's understandable. Any questions? No? Okay. So then lesson's over. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.